Good afternoon, ma'am. Today I would like to explain servlet concept for the milestone 3 Wipro Talent Next program purpose. So, before learning servlet concept, one must remember to know the concepts like what is a server, what is a client, what is a web application, what is a web server, what is a request, what is a response. Okay, all these kinds of technology you must know so that you will be able to understand this concept very easily. Okay, now I explain each and everything. What kind of doubts you have, you can ask me. So in general, a servlet, first of all, I go for the definition and then I explain everything. The servlet is a Java class. It is a server-side Java program. Servlet is the servlet, server-side Java program that runs on a web server and dynamically handles client requests. In general, servlets are useful for creating the dynamic web application. Dynamic web application. Okay. In general, if you take any web application, I'll show you. Yeah. If you see a static is a HTTP transaction, browser requests for a file. In general, whatever we do, we type the address, we type some address for a file in the address bar. So the browser looks for the address, whatever the file you want to open. So then the server finds the file. Let us say, in this case, the example is index.html. Server finds the file, reads the file, and give the response, and the response will be sent to the browser. Okay, this is in the with the help of HTTP protocol. HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol. Okay, it is a stateless protocol, sir. HTTP is a stateless protocol. Stateless protocol means it cannot maintain the state. Okay, so this protocol, using this protocol, clients and servers use on the web to communicate. Let us see a dynamic HTTP transaction. So you see a browser side request, that is for an address or for a file you want to open. That can be anything. The browser requests for a file and the server runs the program that creates HTML. Server returns the HTML to the browser. So here a certain processing is done with the help of a web server. For that you have to know what is a web server. Whatever the request is received from the client, that includes certain things. Okay, all that information should be processed here. It searches for the file for which you are looking for. Okay, and the response it creates the HTML file, and the server returns the HTML as a response to the browser. So with this here, please also remember the server may need to contact with the database also, because your server-side Java program may also require the results from a database like your SQL data. Okay, so you have created some database. Your program requires some fields from your database. And for that case, the server needs to contact with the database also. Once the results are processed and returned extracted from the database, so finally the server sends the result as a response to the back to your browser. That is the form of HTML. So this is what the dynamic HTTP transaction. Okay, first of all, you should know what is a web server. A computer having the server software installed within it, which serves up the web pages. The web server, the capacity of the web server is very much essential because which process your client-side requests. You see, you are writing a Java program. You are writing a Java program. and you have a database. For example, you have a HTML file also. So from your HTML file, you are creating something. So from the client side, they have requested something. So the requested file is needed to be opened, and you are expecting as a response. So under the presence of this web server, all this processing will be done in general. A program that uses client server model and the world www HTTP. It is also responsible for accepting HTTP requests from browsers and responses to the web pages as HTML documents. So let us see some of the popular web servers. We have Tomcat Apache Web Server, Microsoft Internet Information Server, Sun Java System Web Server. Okay, so I will show you how to get the web server. So for example, let us see. Uh, I will show you. We have a Tomcat web server. So Apache Tomcat web server. We have to download it. It is freely downloadable from your internet. The Tomcat 7 or 9, latest 9 is also available. So whatever you want, you can go to this website. So this is the Apache Tomcat website. So in this, there are many files available. So within this, you have to find this particular one. That is Windows Service Installer. 32-bit or 64-bit. It depends on your system configuration. Okay, I am telling you the manual process. So 32-bit or 64-bit Windows Service Installer. You have to click on this. So once you click on this, it will be downloaded. Okay, so once it is downloaded, you have to open it. You have to open it. Click yes. Next, I agree. If you want examples also, you can click next. Here you have to, this is the connector port through which this installation is done. Through which this is the port number 8080 by default is available. If you want, you can change it either to 1000 or 99949, whatever. And next, it will be installation will be done. Okay. So once the installation is over, once the installation is completed, you have to once the installation is over, you have to go for the what you have to do. You have to set the path. So I will show you where exactly it is stored. I have already installed. So go to C drive. Inside C drive, there are two folders: program files and program files x86. So open a program files. You find this Apache Software Foundation. Open this. Tomcat 7.0. Open this. Now these are the directories. I will again explain it. These are the directories. Because these directories you have to remember. These directories you have to remember. There is a directory called bin. All executable files are available. You see. And there is a file called lib. This lib folder contains all the library files. Jar files are there. Executable jar files are available here. So out of these, an important file you have to remember, that is this servlet API.jar for your servlet application programming interface. Jar file is this we will use. Okay, and there are others also. What is there? Okay, localhost, all these examples, manager, everything is here. You can see. I will explain you this directory structure once again. So for this, what we have to do is, so let us see. So my computer, right click. I will show you. You have to set two types of paths. One is advanced system settings. Go to advanced system settings, environment variables. Okay, I have already set. If you want, you can also set new. You have to type new Catalina underscore home. Okay, so here you have to copy the uh, path of your Apache, wherever it is installed. Where it is installed? Inside program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 7.0. You just need to copy this, copy and paste here. Okay, then press OK, like that. Okay, sir, I have already installed. That is why I am not clicking OK. This is Catalina Home. Another is also you have to create. That is class path. Class path. So that is again open your Tomcat. So you see lib is there. Lib. Inside this lib, so you copy this. You copy this. Paste here. Slash. I told you what is the file? Servlet API.jar. So right here, servlet hyphen API.jar. Press click OK. Okay, click OK. Everything click OK and click OK, and then open a browser. Open a browser like this. You just check whether this local host, whether this Tomcat is running or not. Okay, this is the web page, the home page of Apache Tomcat. This is the home page of Tomcat. Okay, you can see all the things here. If you want documentation, if you want examples, so through this interface, we can execute our web applications. Okay, so this is Apache Tomcat homepage, and you see here, this is Apache Tomcat symbol, means this is running. You can stop the service, you can start the service. Whenever you want to stop it, you just need to stop it, stop service. Whenever you want to start service. Okay, that you have to know. And now I want to show you the structure once again. Yeah, see this. This is the basic structure of your Apache Tomcat. Inside this web app, in this web INF folder, you have to create. Okay, so that is the structure of the that Tomcat. Okay, before that, once again, you see what are the Java server side web components. A web component is a software is an entity that runs on a web server. So the J2EE specification defines the two types of web components, servlets and JSPs. servlets as well as JSP. Okay. So now coming to servlets. What is a servlet? What is a servlet? Servlet is a Java side, server side Java program. This is used to create the dynamic web application. And this runs on a web server and dynamically handles the client's request. Okay. Not only this, this extends the functionality of a web server by receiving the client request and dynamically generate a response. Okay. So servlets are Java programs, sir. Java programs you have to compile and then only execute, and which are platform independent. Platform independent. Okay. So uses of servlets. These servlets are useful for processing or storing data submitted by a HTML form. So example is a login form, processing data of a login form. What it does, as a response, it sends the results. The results may be, as I already told you, it can be a database query to the client. It means results may be required from a database. Okay. Not only that, it is also useful for managing state information on top of the stateless HTTP protocol. So HTTP is a stateless protocol, does not maintain the state. Okay. For example, for an online shopping cart system which manages shopping carts for many concurrent customers, and maps every request to the right customer. Okay. That is what the maintenance of the state, even though this HTTP is a stateless protocol. Okay. So this is the architecture. Please remember what are there in this architecture. So servlet interface is there. So all the Java servlet API, or API means application program interface, or in packages Java X dot servlet and Java X dot servlet dot HTTP. See, whenever you write a program, these two packages are required to import. One is Java X dot servlet and Java X dot servlet dot HTTP, which provides the interfaces and classes for writing servlets. These two packages are necessary for writing a servlet program. Okay. So all servlets must implement servlet interface, definitely. So it defines the all life cycle methods. I tell you what is life cycle, which contains the certain stages are there. Okay, I will tell you those life cycle stages. And next, extend the generic servlet class. So you see from this, for example, a user-defined servlet, login servlet, HTTP servlet class, generic servlet class, and servlet interface. Okay, so you can either generic servlet class or extend a HTTP servlet class. Extend. So just now I explained you how to set the environment variables. Java home and path are required for Java. Java home is basic. This is optional. Path, but path you have to store. The path is nothing but JDK contains a bin folder, like however your Tomcat contains. All the software remember contains the bin folder. That bin executable files are there. Okay, that bin path you have to copy paste. So it's set as a path. Okay, and Catalina home and class path you set for what? Uh, this is Tomcat. Okay. So this is the whole structure, directory structure of a web application. Please remember this. So you have to name some names, like for example, GVPC. Under this, create WebINF. You have to create a web folder like this, WebINF. Okay, WebINF folder you have to create. Inside that, inside that, there are two important things other than the remaining. Those two you have to remember. One is classes, the other is web.xml. Classes file classes folder. Classes is the folder. Web.xml is the XML file which contains the information about your servlets. Okay. So classes contains all the Java class files. Whatever these class files, whatever the servlet programs you have written, once compiled, you have to copy paste those corresponding class files inside this. Okay, inside this classes, all the Java class files will be there. So this is WebINF. Not only WebINF, other files can be here inside your directory. Other JSP files can be there. HTML files also be there. I show you. Yeah, Apache, Tomcat 7.0. So here, web apps. Under this, for example, I have created. I show you. Otherwise, you can see an example also. Example, WebINF. WebINF. You see, there are different folders. You need not remember all the folders. You have to remember these two, which are important. Web.xml and classes. Classes contains all the Java class files. You see, all Java class files are available in this classes folder. Okay, and this web.xml is the most important one. Please remember, web.xml contains the information about your servlets. See, I will tell you what is contained in web.xml later. So entire description is available in the form of tags. Okay, init parameters, context parameters, and the description, servlet name, servlet okay, servlet class, and mapping, other details, servlet mapping, tag list, including the JSP information. Everything is available in this web.xml. Web.xml, it works as a serves as a database for your servlet. Okay. So anyhow, this is the structure, directory structure. Please remember once again, my web application, any name you can put under this WebINF, create a folder called WebINF. There you can save other files like HTML and JSP files. So this WebINF contains web.xml. You have to create an XML file, name it as web.xml, where you have to provide the information about your servlets. What is the name of your servlet? What is the class of your servlet? And other parameters information, if any, other meta information, if any, whatever must be represented in this web.xml. It serves as a database. As you know, XML serves as a database, not like your SQL in the form of stacks. Everything is available in your XML file. So classes contains all your server-side dot class files. Dot class files means once your Java programs are successfully compiled, you will have to copy paste, or otherwise you can save there inside this classes. Okay, any library archive files, any dot tag files can be available in this lib and tags. Anything you will forget, but you should not forget this one, your root directory, whatever the name assigned. This WebINF, you have to create like this only, this web.xml and the classes folder. Remaining all are, that is your wish. That is up to your requirement. Okay. So sample demo for a sample servlet. You have to run like this. Wherever you store, you have to type the, for example, servlets modularization slash welcome.msc. Okay, that is the file name. You have to run like this. Okay. So now I want to tell you, if you want to write a servlet program, what you are required to write, you have to create two files. One file is your Java file, that is the servlet file. The another file is web.xml, which contains the information about your Java file, servlet file. Okay, let us see. This is an example for a servlet program, or else I can show you a program, anything. This is a demo servlet program. Import Java x.servlet.http. Import Java x.servlet. These two are compulsory. This is for any IO operations through your servlet can be performed, will be facilitated by java.io package. Please do this public class demo servlet, a name I have given, which extends HTTP servlet. HTTP servlet extends HTTP servlet. Don't forget. Okay. So this method first remember, then I shall tell you all the life cycle methods. Okay. So this do get method. This is public void do get. We have do get and do post methods together. I tell you what is get and what is posted. So public void do get. This should contain two parameters. One is the request parameter, another is the response parameter. HTTP servlet request and the HTTP servlet response. Okay, so please don't forget this method should throw. You have to explicitly mention there is a chance of occurring two types of exceptions. So those two exceptions you must throw with the throws clause. Why throws clause is used? In order to throw an exception explicitly in order to make aware of the caller, whoever called this particular method, the caller should be aware of if I call this particular method, there is a chance of causing or occurring this kind of exception. That is the information we declare or we provide to the callers, whoever calls this particular method. So what are the methods? What are the exceptions? Servlet exception is one and IO exception is the another because you are processing with servlet. So servlet exception and you are working with input output writing reading things you are doing. For that IO exception is also you are mentioned. So a basic program this is. So next most important statement this is you have to set the response type. You have created some request. You are expecting some response. So the response type you have to create. The response type creates like a text or HTML. Either it can be a text or HTML format. This is the response content type. Next step. You have content. You have everything. What else you need? You need a stream. That is standard output stream you want in order to get to the response. So that is print writer. This is a general Java class, IO class, print writer. Okay, this is the stream for writing. PWD response dot get writer. So this response is HTTP servlet response is connected with this stream. So get writer method is invoked here. Get writer method. Now that write the data. Okay, writer is obtained here. So once you obtain the writer, what you have to do? You have to generate a HTML. Servlet will generate the HTML for the response purpose. So how do we? So this please remember every servlet file should embed the HTML. Means the Java program itself embedding the HTML code in it. HTML code because you know that the response will be in the form of HTML. You already set a text or HTML, text or HTML, and before that I already mentioned it. So right, HTML body text. Welcome to servlet body HTML means this is the body you are sending. This is the response you are sending. So welcome to servlet will be displayed. What is you observed here? Your entire Java program is embedding the HTML code. So finally close the stream. This is the basic program. In this basic program, do get method we use. Do get method. This information is available in the header. I tell you. So for writing any program, servlet program, these two packages are necessary, and this package is for input output operations. And the do get method, and your servlet program extends this HTTP servlet. They can be HTTP servlet or generic servlet based on your requirement. Okay. So next I talk about web.xml. Web.xml serves as a web deployment descriptor. Deployment descriptor. This web.xml file. Okay. So what the purpose of this web.xml? This serves the servlet information. This maintains the servlet information. You see, this is a basic web.xml file, a basic web.xml file, servlet, servlet name, and servlet class. There are two types of tags. Please remember, one is servlet, another is servlet mapping. Okay, what it does, it mapping from URIs to application resources. Okay, not only this, and the another thing, initialization parameters, security constraints, registration of listeners and filters, any metadata information, everything is maintained in this XML file. This works as a descriptor. This is it. Okay. So what servlet contains? Servlet contains two types, are servlet name and servlet class. Servlet mapping contains servlet name and URL pattern. URL pattern. So servlet name is my first servlet. You see this program, my first servlet. Okay. Servlet class is welcome servlet. You see class name welcome servlet. So file name is my first servlet.java. So class name is welcome servlet because the class name you see welcome servlet. Okay. And then servlet mapping contains two things, servlet name and URL pattern. So URL pattern, how you want to mention there welcome.msg. As you can see here welcome.msg. So these are the things maintained by the web.xml. This web.xml file also we have to write like this. Please see. One is servlet tag, another is servlet mapping. Not only this, in addition to these are the other things, initialization of parameters, because there are different parameters may be available, init parameters, context parameters. Okay, we see later. Servlet lifecycle, most important. So what are the stages in a servlet lifecycle? Everything like thread, applet. Okay, like servlet lifecycle, you see the HTTP servlet lifecycle, which is controlled by the web container where it is deployed. Okay, so there is init stage, there is a init method, service method, destroy method. These are the stages in this servlet. Init method is used to initialize the servlet. It takes the, I am not only telling the names, these are the methods which represent the corresponding event. So servlet config initializes the servlet. So this initialization only once done before any request can be serviced. Next, service method. Service methods, just now we have seen do get method. I show you. So the do get method, do get and do post. So it takes service, servlet request and servlet response as the parameter. So in our program, example program, we used the HTTP servlet. Please see this program once. HTTP servlet. That is why doGet method contains HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response as parameters. Please remember. Okay, which are service methods. And next, destroy. Destroy purpose is processing is done by service method. Initialization is done by init method. Destroying means which releases all the resources. Whatever the resources are locked till now will be destroyed by the destroy method. So your entire servlet will be destroyed with this. There are three methods in the life cycle of servlet. One is init, and next is service, and the last is destroy. Okay, these are the two methods you can remember. Get servlet config, which returns the configuration config object and contains any initialization parameters, startup configuration information for the servlet like that will be given. Similarly, servlet information means the string description will be provided. So with the other version, copyright like that. Okay, you remember these three especially init, service, and destroy methods. These are the life cycle methods. Life interaction between a web server, a servlet, and a client. Three things are there. You are writing your program from HTML program client. Okay, you are sending. So that is seen by a web server. Web server process servlet program is a server side Java program which takes your request. So through the web server, it processes everything, and again it generates a HTML as a response or text, which will be forwarded to the client, that is to the web browser as a response. So please remember, service methods is different. Service method contains do get and do post like that. As many times you can use it. Service can be done as many times, but the init method and destroy methods are only once they are used. Only once they are called. Initialization, how many times done? Only once. Okay. Next, How to initialize a servlet? See, I just have shown you init servlet config. So init, there are two versions of this particular init method. Override init method of servlet interface if you want the servlet to. Actually, we need not write. Automatically, the initialization will be done. Okay, web container initializes the servlet after web container loads and instantiates servlet class and before it delivers the request from clients. The init method is invoked only once during the servlet's lifetime when servlet is first created. So override this init method if you want. If you want to do anything. Otherwise, there are two versions of init method. One takes no parameter, so that use when your servlet does not need any specific initialization, and init takes the servlet config parameter. So use this when your servlet needs to check specific settings before completing initialization. Okay, servicing the client request. So client request we have methods are service methods, do xxx method, do get, do post. One should know what is do get and what is do post. Okay, so destroying a servlet can be done by destroy method, public void destroy. What exactly done in the destroy method, sir? This is not nothing. This is nothing but your normal Java program. Normal Java program also all these things will be done because Java performs all. Okay, so garbage collection is also automatic in Java. Before destroying any object, any finalization things are there automatically. It generally performs because Java runtime system keep on checking the existence of the object, validity of the object. It feels if an object is no longer needed, no longer that object will be maintained, that will be destroyed automatically. So for the specific, specifically for the destroying the servlets, there is a method called public void destroy method. If the servlet has been idle for some time, if the application is undeployed, or if server shutdown, server shutdown, servlet may unload a servlet instance. Okay, before it removes the servlet, it calls the destroy method only once. Before the servlet get destroyed, so cleaning operations like closing the database, closing the streams, halting the background threads, releasing other resources such as IO streams. In our basic program, we have used the print stream, so that stream we have to close like that. Okay, next step. See that get and post request. Do get and do post methods we use. Okay, do get and do post method. But one maintains the alert information in the form of header, and this do post we use when we want to maintain that the huge information is to be represented and it is presented the body. Okay, do get and do post using two arguments: HTTP servlet request object, HTTP servlet response object. Request object encapsulates data from the client, and response object encapsulates response to the client. Okay, this is related to request concerned with the client, and this is a response to the client. This is a request and response. Okay, in general, the two methods are like this: public void do get and do post. It takes the same argument: HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. It throws IO exception and servlet exception. Okay, the HTTP servlet request interface. Request interface is there. Response interface is also there. Okay. So any communication from client to servlet, provide methods that allow you to retrieve incoming information. That is a HTTP request header, form data, or a client's host name. So there are some methods also. When we use the forms, we can retrieve the names of the parameters, the names associated with them. If any parameter is there, get parameter method is used in that case. So string that parameter, whatever parameter, for example, if a text box or a button or a label, whatever you want. So you can mention here, you can get the parameter. Parameter names you can retrieve, parameter values also you can retrieve. So these kind of methods maintained by this servlet request and the response. You already see you have set the content type. Response type you have already set text or HTML form. Response object res dot set content type to text or HTML. So this enables the response type to set the response send redirect. This is also a most important method. If you click on something, it send redirects to some other page, whatever you want as a response. Okay, get writer in order to get the obtain the writer stream. Okay, HTTP servlet response object incorporates any communication from servlet to client. It allows you to specify outgoing information, response headers, and HTTP status codes, where request is concerned with the HTTP request header. Okay, so also enables you to obtain a print writer. What is the purpose? The writing stream. This is a writing stream. Output writing in order to provide the response or write the output back to the client. Okay, an example. This is you can work with your Eclipse. In Eclipse, please, I told you the previous example for the normal traditional approach, like using a notepad editor. There you can type and run and execute your program. This is with your Eclipse. First of all, if you want to work with Eclipse, you must see there are perspectives. Whether your Eclipse Java or Java is SCRE perspective is available. Make sure this perspective is Java E. Okay, that is Enterprise Edition. In order to run the J2E applications in your Eclipse environment, you have to make sure that open the perspective is Java E perspective, not SC perspective. Okay, so from that, you have to go for file menu. In that dynamic, then is that the project, dynamic web project. You have to choose dynamic web project, dynamic web project. Okay. So once dynamic web project is chosen, you have to choose the corresponding server, new runtime, server runtime environment. So here, so you have to choose whatever the Tomcat version you have been installed, Apache Tomcat 7 or 9, whatever you have to select and then finish. Okay. Give some name and also tick generate web.xml deployment descriptor. In that case, so what is the use of this Eclipse environment is you can make the things automated. So if you click this generate web.xml deployment descriptor, so automatically web.xml file will be created. Okay. Dot XML. Next. Now you see this is the hierarchy of your Java directory you have created. In that all these things will be available, whatever you created for your dynamic web project. And also, please remember you have to create a new servlet, not new class, new servlet. And also you have to remember that you have to add the servlet API.jar. If you are not set the path there, you can add it here. That using that after the servlet is created, and we have written the program like this. Okay, what you have to do is you have to create the deploy that servlet API dot jar file. Jar files you have to add the jar files. Okay. So for creation also you can make the things very simple. So once the name servlet is chosen, you have to type some name. Your applet servlet for creating the servlet, you have to choose the methods, whichever methods are needed. This is very easy. You need not type even do get if you want do get. Select do get and finish. Click finish. Then automatically your program will be created with public void do get. You see, public void do get method is automatically deployed. There you need to fill the body. That is your responsibility. Remaining is this is automatically filled, and this part you have to type. That is including the setting the content type, response type, obtaining the output writing stream, and embedding the HTML code inside your servlet Java program. This helps you to write the output in the form of HTML. Okay, this is what your exam, your output is. This is the response will be sent to the browser, the form of HTML. Please remember. Okay, you see, this is index.html. Now, if you are processing with forms, you have to know about the request object parameters, form data. Get parameter name you can use. So string value request dot get parameter of name. So that get parameter is used to obtain the parameter. Get parameter names also you can retrieve. So number of names will be generated from that retrieved from that form. Okay, for example, you see this is a index.html. For example, HTML file. This contains name and address. Name as text box and address is also text box. This uses the post method. So form should contain the method, whether it is get or post method. Get method or post method. So you see, for example, here post method. Okay, this contains the two text fields. One is name and another is address, and a submit button. Am I right, sir? Input type equal to submit. This is the submit button. Okay, so now you have to write your servlet program inside the do post since it uses the post method there. I tell you what is the difference between get and post. Okay, so you see this is all common. You know this. So now enumeration of request parameters request is what? Your do post methods request object this argument. HTTP servlet request dot get parameter names. So all the parameter names will be set to this request parameter. So one by one, what is happening is here while loop is used in order to retrieve the next name, next element, next element, next element. Each all the elements will be sent storing name and value. Corresponding value is with the help of get parameter method. So name and value will be printed. So what are those? One is the username, another is address will be printed. So this is the use of get parameter and get parameter names methods. Okay, you see. Handling form data. Just now I told you here, for example, true text fields, username and user address, and a submit button. For example, get parameter. What is the use of get parameter? To get request parameter sent as an extra information with the request. So provide the parameter name as an argument. Returns a string that contains URL decoded value of the first occurrence. For example, when you when your parameter has only one value, string name equal to request dot get parameter of username. Okay, whatever the value is there, whatever the name is there for the username, see, so that will be retrieved by this particular one. If you want to, whenever You need to process your forms. For example, after clicking of the submit button, you have to go read the what is contained in text field 1 and text, for example, login username and password, for example. So what are there you have to retrieve. So retrieval of those values can be done by get parameter. Okay, this is what your servlet program. Do post method. You see get request name equal to request dot get parameter of username. Username value will be applied to this. Similarly, get parameter of user address. Address stores the address value, user address. Okay, those will be printed as a response, like user details printed in the H1. H1 means what is that? H1, that heading user details, and two paragraphs will be printed. The name you entered was name is retrieved from this using the get parameter. Name stored the username value. Address stored the user address value will be printed here. Okay, you see, for example, name and address you have given Annie and 24th Main Bangalore. After clicking submit, the simple details are printed. The form of name you entered was Annie and the address you entered was 24th Main Bangalore. Suppose if you use what is the method? Send a redirect method. Send a redirect method is for redirecting to some other page. For example, and do get method accordingly HTML form get. So if it is post method, the HTML contains the post method. Okay, get parameter values. So using JDBC in the servlet. JDBC purpose is Java database connectivity. In order to extract the information from a database, from your web server, from your program, so you have to write the connectivity of JDBC. JDBC connectivity you have to maintain. Okay, JDBC I think already delivered by someone. Just you see here, this is your Java servlet program. Okay, in JDBC, so we have to use some classes, connection, prepared statement, result set. So initially we are obtaining the driver, that is class dot for name. This is the driver. Some.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. And next you have to pass the obtain the connection. So with the username and password you have to pass. Let us say Scott and Tiger. Okay. So and next the other things, anything can be, it is uh, a statement or prepared statement like that. Do get method contains the processing. However, if you want to process, initially content type is set, and I obtained the stream also writing stream. So now displaying for in order to display the records. So for this example, see create statement method is used. This create statement, after create statement, so the statement holds, and result set contains result set object. This is RS. So RS equal to statement execute query select start from books. So this query is passed, and this will be, it is holds the cursor, result set holds the cursor. So result set dot next means every column initially get int. Maybe the integer one is in, first one is a number, second one is a name, third one is the name. So 1, 2, 3 things will be displayed. Okay, that is what the JDBC connectivity. Servlet config and servlet context. Servlet config and servlet context. See. You have to see the parameters used in this web.xml init parameters and context parameters. You see, these are the init parameters, parameter name and parameter value. So you can pass the parameters, obtain the parameters name and value from this web.xml file also. So let us say some example driver name and parameter name, value, name of the parameter is driver name, value of the parameter is this sum.jdbc.odbc. Okay. Similarly, there is one more init parameter which are useful for the initializing your servlets, URL name as well as the corresponding value. Okay. Yeah. What is the difference between get and post? So see, a limited amount of data or a large amount of data, because the get, if you use get, it is represented in the form of header. So post, it is the data sent in the body. Get request is not secure, but post request is secure. Okay. So remaining all are not needed, but these two are the differences. Please remember. Okay. These are the steps. Once again, I'm telling you. So this is your structure. You know that how to create a servlet. So either implementing any of the ways you can use, either using servlet interface or generic servlet class or HTTP servlet class. You can write your program, basic program like this. This is the HTML web.xml file, which contains the description for your servlet. Okay. Yeah, I want to tell you about send redirect method. Most important. So send redirect means in general response we are printing on a page. If sometimes the response is needed from another resource, so it redirects to some other page. Suppose send redirect is required from a page, for example, index.html, for example, it will be redirected to that file as a response. So send redirect method. For example, you see here, okay, response.send redirect.http www.google.com. So it will send to Google page, and it is opened, it will be redirected to the open that google.com. For example, you see there is a form with the text and submit. Okay, form. This is the form. Input type text name and the submit button is there. Something you enter in the text box and click submit. Let us see what happens. Response.send redirect to http.google.com. Okay, the name is retrieved. Send direct will be worked when you click on the submit button. Automatically it redirects to this particular page. Yeah, servlet config and servlet context. Servlet config is created by the web container for each servlet. It is used to get the information, configuration information from the web.xml, because web.xml contains the entire information from the for the your servlet. So how to get it? So there are methods to get init parameter is there. I just told you there are init parameters. The another type of parameters are context parameters. Init parameters and context parameters. So this servlet config is a method is also the get servlet config method is there, which returns the object of servlet config servlet config. You see, if you want to retrieve the information from the web.xml, You see, there are initialization parameters. For example, parameter name and parameter value are supplied. Any kind of parameter. If you want to retrieve those parameters, you have to use the configuration that servlet config class instance you have to create. So for this, you can get the retrieve the init parameters using the get init parameter method. Get init parameter. What is the name of the parameter? Driver. So its value will be retrieved. You see, what is the value for this driver? This one, sum.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. This is what the uh, init parameter. Init parameter. So one more parameter is also there, that is the context parameter. Okay. Okay, sir. Other information is also there. Uh, Servlet cookies information is there. Servlet config you have seen. Servlet context. So this is user to this is user at the time of deployment. That is the servlet init parameter config is used at the time of initialization, where this is used at the time of configuration. Okay. So servlet context. So context parameters are also there. So context parameters can be retrieved with the help of the methods are there already. So you can use get servlet context method, get servlet context method. So from this you can retrieve the context parameter names and values. So similar because context parameters are used at the time of deployment of the project, where init parameters are used at the time of initialization of the parameter in a servlet. Okay. Next step, you want to still I can tell you is so sessions in general sessions can be created. Session presents some set of transactions, session tracking. Session means a particular interval of time in general. So any kind of actions will be performed during the session. Okay. So session tracking is the process of organizing the session, the process of maintaining the data of a state of a session. That is called session management. As you know, HTTP is a stateless protocol. So we need to maintain the state using session tracking techniques. So whenever the user requests something for the server, so server treats the request as a new request. So we need to maintain the state of a user to recognize he is the particular user. Am I right? So you see a request, a new request. So that state has to be maintained to recognize the request. So for session tracking, there are four concepts are there. One is cookies, another is hidden form fields, and the URL rewriting and HTTP session. Cookies, most important. Please remember. So cookies in general you can observe here in the website. Any web page you see, so history is available in the form of different things. Settings, if you go for settings, it maintains everything, cookies, cache, everything. So a cookie is a small piece of information that is persisted between multiple client requests. So every cookie has some name, a single value, and optional attributes also have like comment path, domain qualifiers, maximum age, version number, like that. So whenever a request is considered as a new request, so we add the cookie with a response from the client servlet. So cookie is stored in the cache of the browser. You see here. You go to settings. You go to settings. So we generally use the cookies information is there. The other cache information is there. Okay. Every time we clean this information because in order to maintain the system perfectly. So each time a request is made, that is a new request. So we add cookie with the response time from the servlet. Cookie with the response from the servlet. So cookie is stored in the cache of the browser. So after that, if the request is sent by the user, cookie is added with the request by default, so that a old user can be recognized. So recognition for the user is maintained. Okay. So, but we, in general, we will not maintain the cookies for a long run. We always use it to delete the cookies because there are, it is simplest, but there are disadvantages of using cookies. It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. Okay, we can delete. Only textual information can be set in a cookie object. And in addition to cookies, there are others also there. So there are some methods for cookies. Key is the constructor takes a name and value. So some methods get name, get value, set name and set value. The max is terms of seconds. Okay. So get name in order to retrieve the name of the cookie. The get value is used to retrieve the value of the cookie. Set name is used to set the name of the cookie and set the value of the cookie. So these are the main methods we use. We can add cookies also as an object. We can send the object. So this is how we generally create and delete the cookies. Cookie C capital C. Cookie CK equal to new cookie. So some name we are creating, some value user. Let us say some name. So this cookie we are adding in a response dot as a response dot add cookie of ck. So you are adding. Okay, if you want to delete the cookie, so you have to uh, see one thing, deleting cookies. So this is the new user. Value is if you simply we are creating with no value, so deleting the value of the cookie. Also, we can change the maximum age. What the max is in terms of seconds, we can mention is 0. So maximum age is now changed to 0. Okay. In order to retrieve the key information, get name, get value methods are there. See that. You want to set the name and value, set name and set value methods are also there. Okay. So these are sufficient. So URL form rewriting is also there. Form fields are also there. Hidden form fields. This is I show you hidden form field. See if you see input type equal to hidden, you can create. Name is username. Value is also here. So that will be, so that will not be displayed. You see name like that value. This is the value. Okay. So input type equal to text username password. Username and submit button is there. So response is the form of hidden. Value is name is uname. Okay. So this is sufficient for the practice. If you have any doubts, you can ask me because I have created a small video for this servlets. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Definitely, I will tell you everything. Everything using either Eclipse or you can work with the normal Notepad also. Both the things are easy. Okay. I cannot represent all those with this short video. If you want any doubts, you can personally call me. Definitely, I will clarify your